Hello everybody, I know I'm a little further away today, so hopefully you guys all can hear me. Happy Friday, Coach Steph here. And I wanted to come to you today with the truth bomb and the coaching bomb that I sort of created this morning. And I was thinking about how when you go through infidelity and you have these traumatic changes in your life, and how, there's parts of your life that all of a sudden can be empty, right? The moment before you find out the truth of what happened in your marriage, all of these pieces are full and complete, and to some extent, maybe to all extents. And then afterwards, it's like it's all empty, right? In one moment, all of these pieces of your life can be emptied out. Hi, Lori. Thanks for joining me. So I started to think today about what that's really like. What happens, and why sometimes after do we feel like we need to fill up again in some ways. And what I thought about was like the love part of our hearts, of our soul, right? When our marriage breaks and we have these periods where we are alone again, there's sometimes this inherent need to fill back up again with love. And whether we do it through finding somebody else, starting to date again, or we fill it with our children or whatever, but there's this need. And, to me, I wondered, some people do it through healthy ways and some people do it through unhealthy ways. And some people feel like they need to fill that cup a lot sooner than others. Hi, Christine. And it got me to thinking, what's the difference between seeking a healthy love versus an unhealthy love? And so I came up with this analogy. And so you might be wondering why I have this sandwich bag full of water. I wanted to use a balloon, but I couldn't find one, and I was already running behind, so I said, screw it, I'm just gonna use a sandwich bag. So I have a sandwich bag and I have a glass of water, okay? So both filled with the same thing, both carrying the same thing, both clear. You can see through both. They both hold water. This one probably will leak over time because, it's the cheap Kroger brand of sandwich bags, not like good quality Ziplocs, but you get my point, right? But what I want you guys to try and think about is that the water inside these two containers is the love. Okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour these out. So the love pours out. It leaves you, right? The love is gone. And now your cup's empty. And then this is somebody else. Again, has their love, and the bag is nice and full and taut and has shape to it. But what happens when you empty this bag? What happens when you pour the love out? The bag doesn't look the same anymore, does it? You can crumple it up, right? It no longer has a big bulbous shape. There's no more feeling of being solid to it, right? It just can be crumpled up into nothing. Yet the glass still remains intact. So it got me to thinking about, why is it that sometimes when we lose love, we feel like this? When we should be like this, where the glass still remains intact, the structure is still there. It may be empty for a time, but how easy is it to fill a glass versus filling a plastic bag? Or, in this case, the better analogy would have been a balloon, right? Filling up a balloon is a pain in the butt, right? You got to stretch that thing open and hold it open and hope you can get like the faucet lip around it, and you're trying to fill it up, right? For glass, you just put it underneath and it pours right in. And so what I got to thinking was, how can love being poured out of two different people look so different? And what I came to the conclusion of, it's self-worth. So hear me out. If you have self-worth, even if you lose the love and you love yourself, which structure of your container that you carry love in your heart going to look like? Is it going to be this one, or is it going to be this? So for those of you who are watching, which one do you think it is? Do you think it's the glass or the plastic bag? If you have good self-worth and you are loving yourself and you are whole and complete Which container do you think you carry love in? Which container do you carry? And I'll give you guys a few seconds. But what I want you guys to try and think about is that, the container we all need to carry, even if we're missing the love, even if the love is gone, the container we need to carry inside ourselves to carry that love when we're ready for it again is this, not this, right? We need to carry the container that's going to be strong and sound and structured and helps continue to keep us going. Right, exactly, Christine, the glass. So the glass needs to be our container. We need to still have that space in our minds, in our bodies, in our souls for the love, but it needs to be structured, even if it's empty. It shouldn't be like this, because the love leaving us shouldn't distort who we are. Does that make sense? It shouldn't, our love, container shouldn't look like this inside our bodies when we're done. It should look like this, where it's still strong and steady and solid, but right now it's empty. But this is a lot easier to pour back into than this plastic bag. So let's see, I have bad eyes, so I can't see. So Lori asks, what if our glass is broken and won't hold the contents? So I invite you to think about why your glass is broken. Because, and like I said on my client call today, we had a group coaching call today. We are only, hi Jennifer, we are only able to control ourselves and our own mindset in the way that we show up, right? We can't control what other people do. And Lori, I'd like for you to think about the fact that your glass isn't necessarily broken. You're just not willing to have anything poured into it right now. You've covered your glass up. You're like, nope, I'm done right now. I'm good. My glass isn't broken. Your glass isn't broken. You just don't want it filled up right now. You want the glass to be empty, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with having an empty glass until you're thirsty again. And then when you're thirsty, you'll put that sucker underneath the faucet and turn it on. And you'll fill your cup again when you're ready. So I invite you to think about your glass not being broken. You're just not willing to have it filled up right now. So I hope that supports you, Lori. Let me know if that does. And Jennifer, we're just talking about how the love containers that we have that may not necessarily be very full right now based on what's going on in our marriage. Hi, Michelle. And how, that both the plastic bag and the glass hold water, right? But once the water is gone, which one continues to hold its structure? The glass or the plastic bag? The glass does, right? And how we need to get to a place where we have a container for love in our lives and in our soul and our spirit that's structured. And it may be empty, but that doesn't change who we are as people. The structure of who we are and how we love and what we love doesn't change, even if it's empty. And how filling up, this is actually supposed to be a balloon, but unfortunately I didn't have any balloons in my house, so I used a plastic bag. But the structure should stay the same. And if you think about pouring and filling up a glass versus a plastic bag, a glass is a heck of a lot easier to fill back up again when you're ready. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you all have an amazing weekend. Take care. Bye.